Ukraine and Russia have been attacking each other overnight a week into Ukraine's incursion into the Russian border region of Sisk. The Defense Ministry in Moscow says its air defense units have destroyed 12 drones, over KK and one each over Belgaro and Vir. Ukraine's military says it shot down 30 Russian drones and 2 missiles. Russian war bloggers report continuing battles in Kursk as well. They say K's forces are trying to expand their control but are being met by reinforcements sent by the Kremlin. Thousands of people have been evacuated from Russian towns and cities as the Ukrainian troops advance. Ukrainian troops highlighted here in yellow are reportedly as deep as 32 km inside Russia. Ukraine's plan seems to be to draw Russian forces away from the front line in Ukraine, shown here in red, where Moscow has been making slow but steady gains. Let's speak now to talk to Patrick, by former infantry captain and the British Army, former NATO analyst and a expert at the University of B. Always good to have you with us here on the BBC. We've just had a statement coming out of Ukraine saying they're not interested in keeping this territory in the Kisk region, so I wonder what their intention is, what's going to happen. Now, yeah, that is really interesting, because we kind of got a reading from some top Ukrainian officials about the operational objectives, and they were to draw, as you mentioned there in your intro, to draw forces away from the front line in Donetsk, where the Ukrainians are under real pressure. We've had some reports of that, but it's unclear whether that's been successful. The second one has obviously delivered a morale boost to the Ukrainian armed forces, especially the army, who've been under a lot of pressure for the last year in the nation. I think we can say this has done that already in the short term, at least in the final one, was to bring the war to Russia, basically is show that the war can be brought to Russian territory and then destabilize. As a result of that, the Kremlin, I think that's been done to a degree again in the short term, but the longer-term strategic objective looked like were they going to try to hold some ground here in case they're forced to negotiations, especially under a potential Trump president, and an operation like this would have taken months to prepare. It's not the kind of thing you do off the back of the cuff, and especially the way it's been executed. Ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, highlighting recent escalations in the border region. Overnight, both nations have conducted significant military operations, with Russia claiming to have shot down several Ukrainian drones, while Ukraine reports intercepting Russian drones and missiles. Ukrainian forces have made incursions into Russian territory, reportedly advancing up to 32 kilometers. The Ukrainian strategy seems to aim at diverting Russian forces from the main front line and boosting Ukrainian morale by bringing the conflict